This is the JJO Morning Show podcast with Johnny and D. Listen, rate, subscribe.
Whore, slut, bitch.
Yes. And that's it. Here's some music. Here's a rock song.
Okay, so this Bonnie Blue lady.
Bonnie Blue.
Now, remember, she was the same one that was going around sleeping with college freshmen.
Oh, that's her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember this chick.
Totally.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what her goal was. It was like 250 in a week or something.
Right.
She went on spring break. Da-da-da-da-da. So this was her goal, was to sleep with 1,000 dudes in 12 hours. And since she likes to give back to her community, there were still 57 dudes waiting outside when the 1,000 was done, and so she let them plow through her as well. And that's how we got to 1,057. I'm not even making that up.
Bonnie, we forgot. We found another homeless shelter full of men that want to plow you. Do you have time? I mean, are you still?
Her publicist explained that while they were aiming for a target number of 1,000 men in the 12-hour window, there were still 57 men waiting at the house who Bonnie wanted to pleasure before ending. The publicist added that a video of the event would be released online in the coming months, proving Blue's claims of achieving such a world record.
You're my whore, Blue.
Oh, my Lord.
You're my whore, Blue.
So we just watched a TikTok video of her explaining how it was done. We can't air it because she says the GB word.
Oh, yeah, it's no good.
But so it started out as a GB where the room was filled with dudes. And then she decided she wanted it a little more intimate, so it was groups of 5. Everybody count off into groups of 5. Oh my God.
It's almost like the mingle game in Squid Games. You got to get a 5, go to the room and bang Bonnie Blue.
Right.
Or you get shot.
And then they just rotated through in their groups of 5.
Oh, can you tell I watched the episode 5 of Squid Games last night?
Yeah. That was intense, wasn't it?
Don't bring your little wrinkly squid into this.
I know.
Too late.
That dude with his mom is a dick, isn't he?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, I'll talk about Squid Games later. It's kind of hard. I knew season 2. I'm like, how do you live up to season 1 in Squid Games?
Yeah.
That's weird. Anyway, so what happened to Bonnie
the
Blue?
games in season 2.
All right, what happened?
Yeah, Banging Bonnie Blue should be a game in Squid Games.
Oh, I like that.
Sure.
I like that.
Anyway, she's a real whore. Born in 1909 in the East Midlands area of England, Blue worked in recruitment before turning to webcam modeling and the adult subscription site OnlyFans.
All right.
Within my first month, I made over $6,000 just from videos online showing my vagina. She rose to fame for marketing her content to college-age students, whom she described as barely legal, and would attend college events like spring break. We already covered that. I was bored of living in the 9 to 5, so I thought I'm going to give this a go.
Oh, yeah.
I've done Cancun in March. I've done Schoolies, which is in Australia, and then Freshers in the UK. I share my location online, and I was like, this is where I'm going to be. Let me pleasure you. Oh, my God. People were waiting for over 8 hours. Doesn't her jaw get tired?
The same
She
amount of
just
time.
unhinges it like a snake.
Yeah.
Along with making headlines for having sex with hundreds of students, she also went viral for comments she made about married men. It's no secret that women bitch a lot. What they don't understand is all that bitching is unattractive and it makes their men look elsewhere for fun and pleasure. If women were better in the bedroom, men wouldn't cheat. All their nagging about pots not being done is resulting in me being bent over their kitchen worktops while they're out.
Oh, yeah.
I used to blame the men for cheating, but since becoming a sex worker, I blame the woman.
What an achievement.
Men look elsewhere when they're bored, so stop boring them. Oh, way to go. My God. She sounds like a real awesome person.
It'd be great.
Oh, honey.
I'd like to hear from like a dude number 995 that was waiting all day to plow Bonnie Blue. He said, how was it? How was your experience? Well, I sat around all day with my pants off. and I got tired. I took a nap, ate a couple of times, and watched a football game. They called my number. I went in 10 seconds. I had to go out in the backyard, finish it off myself.
Yeah, is it like a blood drive where they got
Yes.
like cookies and juice?
Yes, that's exactly. Keep your blood sugar up.
You know,
The guy walks in there with it. Walks into the room with a chicken wing going, I heard my number. He said, can I finish my wings? I'm just here for the wings.
Christ Almighty!
Oh my God!
I have so many questions.
I can't even. I just stand around with groups of 5.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So, like, I assume you hang out with your pants on until your group of 5 is
I know
on
you got
deck.
just a towel just hanging out.
Yeah.
And then you got to ramp. You got a very short time maybe to ramp up. They give you like a 6-hour, an hourly call. So you can stay
where
on.
they're like, okay, your group of 5 is up next
Right.
here.
But you
start
wanna,
watching some porn.
Right, 30 minutes out, you want to start looking at some porn on your phone.
Right.
Or they hand a Playboy around, they pass a penthouse around or something.
I don't.
And then 15 minutes to go, you get in the towel and start playing with it a little bit. 5-minute countdown. I don't know, man. I don't know. The anticipation would kill me. And then the expectation. You've got 40 seconds. Everybody gets 40 seconds with Bonnie Blue. Is that to include finishing? No. Well, maybe.
I don't think so.
I don't think you'd be allowed to.
I don't think so.
I guarantee you there's a hard rule you can't finish.
Probably. And how are you? I guarantee you you're so nervous you're not going to. If you're the average dude.
And I'm not claiming you're not from Finland, but I bet better than odds that you are not allowed to finish.
Finnish bastards.
What do you think?
No. And I don't. The average dude with cameras going and lights on them and other people around.
Yes.
You're not going to be able to be.
And
your
the
L.
guy behind you is like, come on, man, I'm peeking. Come on.
Right. Just let me shove it in there.
I'm missing it, man. Come on.
But
that's awesome.
what a very giving lady.
Yeah.
Good for her, I think.
Is it? Let me put how many people can fit into a typical Southwest jet? Trying to put this in perspective. Like 100, 120? So she did like 12 plane loads of dudes. Think about that.
She did
Think about an airport.
Right. She did like the sea terminal.
She's the whole sea terminal. That's actually a great name for a porn star, the sea terminal.
I
always stop at the Chili's on the way to the sea terminal, have a couple of drinks. So she get a bathroom break, or what goes on?
I would assume whatever she wants goes.
I feel like in this case you can make up your own rules and nobody's going to argue with you. It's like an international league of sleeping with people. I don't know what
Okay, so Bonnie Blue isn't the only OnlyFans user who's been participating in this latest trend. Influencer Lily Phillips completed her challenge to sleep with 100 men in 24 hours and set a new goal for January 2025 to have sex with 1,000 guys in one day.
Oh, wouldn't it be cool? Like the NBA logo with Jerry West, where he's like the side thing dribbling the ball. The logo.
Right.
With the International Whore League, would that be with the blue and red color combination? Would that be Bonnie Blue in the doggy style position, or how?
Did she change positions, or did she just?
Oh, that's a good question.
You would have to, otherwise, wouldn't
Well, I would think if she was on her back, you could expedite the line a little bit quicker. I don't know. That's a great question. These are things I want to know.
Yeah, I have many questions.
But
and I'm not going to watch the footage to find out.
Reading the isthmus. What's our hospital that does science experiments on people?
Dude, Covance.
Covance.
Don't bring them into this, dude.
Hey, if you thought Covance was easy money, let me tell you something, man. Men under the age of, it doesn't matter. Men of any age. Come on down. Oh, that's so funny. That's so funny. It's so nasty. 1,000 dudes. I don't. Can 1,200 guys? You find 1,200 guys? Or do you lie about it and say it's a? Hey, you ever think about being a movie star, breaking into the business?
Oh no, they all knew that they were going to bang Bonnie Blue.
Be at this warehouse at 4 a.m.
And then
we'll supply the script. Come on down.
Yeah, dudes are like, oh, I'm here for a GB. Okay, that's fine too.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's see what's going on here. Do we have a taker? Hello? Hello?
Hey.
Yes.
I'm going to build my 1,000th house right now.
Oh, really? Well, okay, well, you're in pretty good company.
If she drives
Listen,
up,
lay down in the frame of the house and pleasure yourself and make it official.
No.
Make it official.
Quality, not quantity.
Oh, okay. All right. Thanks, Nate. Very clean and healthy, Nate. Not giving into my sad, sick, twisted fantasies over there.
He's not. Well, it seems like it was safe though, and everybody's okay.
I would feel better if I wasn't. If I was like number 600, knowing I wasn't sloshing around in some other dude's fluids. I would feel better knowing.
I'm sure they all had to wear a condom.
Yes, sure. And that would make me feel better. That'd make me feel better.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
It is.
I saw my cousin in line. It's all relative. I'm like, Steve?
Then you're Wiener cousins with like 1,056 other dudes.
Lance?
Yeah. So
Randy?
Man. Your extended family just grew a lot.
She's like, bring me back 705. Or was he 706? He had a twinkle in his eye. He was strapped up. Bring him back in here. Mama want to see him, I'll bet.
Oh, my goodness.
Mama want to get to know him, I'll bet. Well, that's cool, dude. We all got to be good at something. And better her than...
And she found her gift.
Better her vagina than my
I
vagina.
believe we call that the gift of hospitality.
The gift of hospitality. Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
I'm just used to saying that. I'm hearing that on television every time I turn it on. I can't stop saying.
Dumbing down your smartphone. One podcast at a time. Listen, rate, and subscribe to the JJO Morning Show podcast. Get up with Johnny and D. JJO.
Okay, we had Bonnie Blue, and now we're going to talk about a real life hooker. I want to know what love is. Yes.
Let's go pay some hookers to knock our junk around.
A cop near Virginia Beach named Jaron Harry was forced to rat on himself after he hired a hooker who stole his car. Sounds like it was his personal vehicle and not his squad car, which would have been even worse. Her name is Alexis Copeland, and she's 20 years old, but she goes by the name Dream.
Oh.
He met her on an app and sent her $100 through Apple Pay to come to his place and get it on. $100? That's it?
Let's get it on.
$100 doesn't get you very much anymore.
Well, true.
Besides sex, I guess. But
yeah, right.
According to the police report, they laid in bed for a while before agreeing to shower together. But J-Ron jumped in the shower and Dream never joined him. Suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
When he got out, bitch was gone. Along with his car, his wallet, his phone, his keys, and his police credentials.
Wow.
He used his neighbor's phone to call it in. Cops found Dream driving around in his car with a different guy. How dare you? How dare you?
Dream.
She's like, this is my baby daddy. That's in quotes. She claimed J-Ron offered to let her use this car. But she also used at least one of his credit cards, and that's a big no-no. So she's facing half a dozen charges for grand larceny,
My goodness,
fraud, prostitution, and some other stuff. Meanwhile, J-Ron isn't facing any charges yet, but he is not a cop anymore. He got fired last week.
Oh.
Yeah. Hey, you were talking about Illinois.
Let's see what I saw here. Let me see this. Let me check this out. Here's some news. Here's some common sense news.
Yeah.
Illinois. could become the first state to decriminalize sex work under a proposed law. State lawmakers plan to introduce legislation this week that would make Illinois the first state to fully decriminalize sex work. Equality Illinois and Sex Worker Advisory Group, a coalition of black and brown current and former sex workers. A coalition of black and brown? I don't know what that is. Is that a company?
Non-white.
Not, but is that the name of like a hooker service?
I think they made a coalition.
Have spent more than 3 years advocating for this bill, which aims to reduce threats of violence and creates safer conditions for sex workers. Perfect. For over 20 years, I worked as a sex worker here in the city of Chicago. 20 years, banging, stealing cars, skipping the shower. Lived under the fear and threat of violence, said Rina Ortiz. By passing this legislation, I can whore it up and go home with a free from persecution. The bill, sponsored by State Representative and Horn Dog Will Gazzardi, Democrat from Chicago, would remove criminal penalties for adults engaging in consensual sex work, remove arrest and conviction records for sex workers, and establish workers' Bill of Rights. Advocates for sex workers say they believe policy change would offer sex workers the ability to better vet clients, meet them in a safer place. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Holiday Inn.
I know.
What am I, Uncle Sam? Why am I waving my finger?
I don't know. You're very fingery.
The proposed policy changes would also allow sex workers to report crimes without fear of consequence. Well, what's wrong with any of this?
Nothing.
The threat of arrest and prosecution keeps sex workers unsafe and in the shadows.
True. Yes.
And this threat must be eliminated. Between 50% and 75% of all sex workers worldwide will experience violence at some point in their career. And about 2/3 of trans people killed in Illinois last decade were sex workers. The bill does not remove criminal penalties for sex traffickers or those who abuse sex workers. There you go. There is nothing wrong with this. What do you see wrong with that?
I think the people that find something wrong with it, it's almost always a morality
Collect
thing,
a
right?
little tax. Well, whatever. It's going to happen anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know.
And, yeah, that's not.
I mean, it doesn't give sex workers a union, but, it provides.
It should be safer for everybody.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. So at least you've got somebody standing up for you. If you hook up with a weirdo, that's a great step, right?
Right. Well, and not only that, but like it also.
Hey, I'm here for the 401k.
Right.
We don't have that yet.
Or the Johns too.
What'd you call me? That's John E.
Yeah. The guys that are buying the hookers also, they get protection as well if it's legalized. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then they ain't gonna get their car and their wallet and their keys stolen.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's the human trafficking. It's got to be just a lot of things that get fixed. It's so weird. I'll never understand that. I'll never understand that. It's not that hard to tax if that's your problem. It's not that hard.
No. What's Illinois doing with all that tax monies? I want that tax money.
I want that tax money.
I know. We don't. Apparently, Wisconsin doesn't want it. We don't want the weed money. We don't want the hooker money.
Yeah, you got to. So you're replacing the pimp, right? I don't. Do you know pimps? Do you know a pimp?
No.
I don't know any pimps.
Why would I know a pimp?
Well, I don't know where you hang out. Where does one find a pimp? I have no idea.
I don't know.
I always see it in the movie. I remember, what's the Julia Roberts movie?
Pretty Woman?
Yeah. She goes, our money, our way, our rules. No pimps. They're not going to control us. We say when, we say how, we say how much. No pimps.
Yeah.
I'm paraphrasing.
Right. Yeah.
This is me. I'm working from here to Dean Martin. You go across the street, work your own sidewalk. I haven't seen that movie in a while.
Yeah, I mean, that it definitely romanticized being a prostitute.
Oh, completely. I'm like, are all whores this pretty? Oh, my God. Turns out they are. So, yeah, you could, where do you go, where am I thinking of where the prostitution is legal? Where am I thinking of in Europe? You get like a menu.
Oh, Amsterdam?
Amsterdam? Is that where it would be? The women in the windows?
The red light district.
Yeah, you go over there, you get a menu. You're like, what would you like this evening with your Chianti? What would you like?
I'd like a whore with 1,000 wieners.
Well, here's the sex positions in her medical records, and here's that Chianti. Yeah. And then the price list is there.
Yeah. Various services.
Upfront friendly pricing.
Yeah. 1.5% APR.
Like something along the lines of a bleached butthole this evening with my... Anyways.
Let's see that booty hole.
Strange stuff.
Yeah.
Strange stuff. Good news.
Yeah.
Kind of, isn't it?
It's very hoary today.
Isn't it? Isn't it time we eliminate the pimp and tax it?
Yeah.
Because pimping ain't paying taxes.
No, and it's controlling and those women and the human trafficking and all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of it. Obviously, we don't know because we're not in the lifestyle, John.
Remember in Taken when Liam Neeson had to go bust up when they took his daughter, selling her off as a sex slave?
I never seen the movie.
You never saw Taken?
No.
Oh, my Lord. That's amazing.
But I feel like I already know everything that happened because everybody references it all the time.
You ever see Ted when Liam Neeson went in to buy Trix cereal?
I seen the movie Ted, yeah.
All right.
Anywho, so I guess that covers hookers for the day.
Okay, so. All right.
A woman in Ohio said her order of chicken fries from Burger King came with several buds of marijuana. Hell yeah.
BK, get high today. BK, getting stoned up today.
TikTok user Jana Bama posted the video on Sunday after visiting a BK in Hamilton, Ohio. Okay, I went to Burger King tonight. I need you guys to listen. I got my kids some chicken fries. This bag came. If you look down in here, you can see some residue. She got her chicken fries with a side of, do you see that? Mary Jane.
Did she say that or are you saying that? Did you see that? I want a side of, did you see that? And I'm not complaining. I ain't complaining.
I would not be busting them out. I'd be like, thank you.
It's like French fry inception. The more you eat, the hungrier you get.
Yeah, totally. They knew what they were doing.
They know exactly what they're doing.
They were like, we'll see you later.
We'll see you. Best happy meal ever.
Miller Management, the management company for the Burger King location in Hamilton, said they are very disappointed to learn of the incident, and they do not take incidents that put our guests in danger lightly. No one's in danger, sweetheart. Miller Management said that the employee involved was fired, so they can go and deal drugs full-time now. The manager of the Burger King location says he didn't want to comment. Hamilton Police Department said they didn't receive a report from the customer. A sergeant with the department said they're investigating and they'll release additional information if it becomes available. Sounds like it's much ado about not a whole lot.
When life gives you nugs,
smoke them.
Don't call the police.
So, speaking of when life gives you nugs, so I was getting, this is around Christmas time, and I was little Santa Claus, and I was delivering weed to people because I give weed out as gifts sometimes. And so winning. Yeah. So I was getting ready to make a delivery, and I had my hands were full of stuff, and I had my keys and a bag of weed in my pocket, right? And so I got down to my car, I pulled my keys out, and I got the gifts in the car. And then I was like, where is this weed at? I can't find my bag of weed.
Oh, man, dude. This is the plot to It's a Wonderful Life when they lost the $6,000.
It's kind of like that.
Yep. Yeah. And then, okay, go ahead.
I was also like kind of stoned, which might have been the problem.
You're not going to believe this, but I already factored that into the story. So I've already given you some leeway.
So then
I'm not going to come down on you too heavy.
I went back upstairs and I was like, did I leave the bag of weed up here?
No.
So we're looking and we're looking. We cannot find the bag of weed. And I was like, okay, well, maybe I dropped it somewhere. And I'm pretty sure it fell out of my pocket and somebody just picked it up, which is fine. I'm totally fine. Somebody somewhere in that apartment complex got a free bag of weed, which is fine with me. The weed fairy blessed you. That's great.
Imagine the joy, dude.
Right. And that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
It's the joy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Did you check at the did you call the police and ask them if anybody turned any weed in?
I did not.
I didn't believe this, but it says biatch on the bag. If that helps.
I did not. No, we never located it. I had to pack up another bag, and it was fine. It was not a big deal.
Everything worked out.
I just figured I was all right.
I know in the cartels they calculate for a certain amount of loss trying to get the product into the country.
Right.
So you're like
kind of like that. Yeah.
That was already factored in. I always factor in
Sure.
about 10% loss when I'm stoned trying to deliver my weed.
Somebody got a nice Christmas present.
Never happens to me. Never walking down the street going, marijuana! Never happens to me.
Replay today the JJO Morning Show podcast. Get up with Johnny and D. JJO.
Okay, PC2. A clip of Oklahoma Senator Mark Wayne Mullen is trending after he suggested members of Congress vote drunk all the time. They be drunk all the time. So here we go.
The senator from Virginia starts bringing up the fact that what if you showed up drunk to your job? How many senators have showed up drunk to vote at night? Have any of you guys asked them to step down and resign from their job? And don't tell me you haven't seen it because I know you have. And then how many senators do you know have got a divorce for cheating on their wives? Did you ask them to step down? No. But it's for show. You guys make sure you make a big show and point out the hypocrisy because the man's made a mistake.
Oh, the Hegsworth what's the name of the guy running
Pete
for?
Hegseth.
Oh, Hegseth. That's it. The guy going for
Except for Secretary of Defense.
Secretary of Defense.
I don't care. Fill it with drunks. I don't care.
Well, the guy. Well, that's a weird analogy, man.
Is that supposed to give us faith in the system?
Yeah. You're not.
He's like, you know what?
You're not
We're
really.
all assholes.
You're not really helping.
Right?
It's like I know all the drunks in here, and he's the least of the drunks. Yeah, but that guy. I know that guy's got to send an aircraft carrier to Saudi to the Gulf of Mexico or wherever it's got to go. Oh, is there a Gulf of America? American Gulf. Sorry about that. Now I'm doing George Bush. Don't know why.
I don't know why.
Not even president anymore. Yeah, I saw that clip this morning. They're grilling him. I guess Hegseth, he's a party animal, I guess.
Dude, who was the other guy?
Squee. Squee.
Find Squee. Where's he at?
Great college nickname. Squee. I like beer. I drink beer. I am Squee. Oh, well, here's a black robe. Enjoy.
Here's Pete.
Why didn't you say so? Here's your black robe. Yeah, so I saw that clip this morning. It's pretty funny. Yeah, so they're supporting. They're trying to make a case for Hegseth, who I guess. I mean, how much of a drunk is this guy? I don't know that much about him.
I don't know that much about him either.
I know I've heard stories. Some of the stories they tell. He calls them smears, political smears. But I guess there's been some women on the harassment, and then some of the people. I guess he was on committee. No, I know what he was doing. He was running veteran charities, and they were using them as party platforms. Basically, he would show up, or they'd have a get together, and they would, or a charitable corporate gathering, whatever you would call that thing, and they would party their asses off.
Sure.
Which is, I guess, different than. I mean, I think you can drink and still show up. Although he's kind of on 24/7 as the Secretary of Defense, I guess. A little more important than a DJ. I was going to compare him to me.
Yeah, well, he used to be. He was like a TV guy.
He used to be on Fox.
So
I think.
yeah. So, I mean, would you show up the same as Secretary of Defense as you do as your TV gig? I would think it would be a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do know what you're saying.
So whatever.
But I mean, is that something you should even be? I mean, trying to make a case for being drunk all day. I mean, and then not seeing how that's worse as Secretary of Defense. That's an interesting.
I just thought it was a weird stance.
Yeah, that's an interesting tact to take.
I would have just let it go.
Trying to get. I would not have used that.
Right.
I mean,
we're all drunk.
We're all drunk.
Like, oh,
But
I am Spartacus.
That's some bizarre context to make a case for somebody. I'm Senator Moonshine. I just want you to know that I've never missed a vote. Well, that's because they get a limo to run them down to get their vote in.
So, very strange.
So what's
I'm glad they're all rich and drunk and voting. It's great. So whatever. It's a hot mess in D.C. It's nothing we didn't already know.
Yeah, and he had some. I just heard bits and pieces about him. Some like pro-white rhetoric things. I don't know. I don't know the whole case against him.
Yeah, well.
But I think the biggest case is he has no experience. He was a TV dude. I thought that was the bigger problem.
You don't need experience.
I didn't say you did. Clearly. Listen, can you quit drinking on the weekends? I mean, the weekdays. Can you just quit? Just what did Pat call it the other day in the hall? He goes, I just do dry weekdays.
Yeah. He didn't feel like doing dry January all the way this year. It's like I got into it and I was like, I don't want to do this. And I was like, Pat, you don't have to.
Yeah, I would go along the line. Well, I think he served in the military, so you could go along the lines of what is your actual experience. And I guess I don't know. Do you have an undersecretary that's been there for 20 years? He could help you out, I guess. But I one despicable beltway politician's as worse as the next beltway politician. It's weird they're calling themselves all out for being drunk.
That's what I thought too.
Senators, that's a really weird line to take.
Hey, whatever.
But you know what? They made excuses for Bill Clinton when he got his cigar smoked in the White House. So
right, it happens. No matter who's in there, we go through this same crap.
Same thing.
And if you think it's any different, you're out of your mind.
But Secretary of Defense, I mean, that's pretty close to the president. I mean, hey, we all do it, so why can't he do it? That's like a line I used to use with my parents. Well, she got away with it. Why can't I do it? That is a weird line, man. It makes me hate politics even more.
You got that right.
But
okay, this is wild. Some of these catfishing schemes really blow my mind, and I've seen them on the Dr. Phil show. And no, I'm not watching the Dr. Phil show voluntarily. It'll be like when it's on at somebody else's place or whatever, in a waiting room or whatever. But so a French woman was scammed out of over $800,000 by someone that was pretending to be Brad Pitt online.
I try to be Brad Pitt in the bars. Let me tell you how far that gets.
Now, I'm trying to remember. Oh, the other one, the lady was Post Malone. Was the other one.
Right.
The lady thought she was dating Post Malone.
Right.
And these are, like, I'm always like, why would... Brad Pitt ain't going to be asking you for, like, Apple iTunes cards. You know what I'm saying? So anyway...
Better chance he's giving those away than he's asking for them.
Right.
Right.
So the fake Brad Pitt actually convinced the woman to divorce her husband and send the fake Brad Pitt the settlement money. He's a pretty good scammer.
Yeah, pay for his, what'd you say, cancer?
So yeah, a 53-year-old French woman.
It'll take about
idiot
3-second Google search to figure out Brad Pitt's not got cancer.
Identified only as Anne, has fallen victim to an online romance scam. The fraud began in February 2023. Let me paint a picture. After Anne posted pictures of herself on Instagram during a skiing holiday, she was then contacted by someone who identified herself as Brad Pitt's mother, who then introduced her to someone pretending to be Brad Pitt.
Oh.
Anne was initially skeptical, but the scammer convinced her with daily messages, poems, and AI-generated photos and videos. In these, the imposter declared love for her and proposed marriage. Nothing weird happening there.
No red flags, yeah.
So Anne divorced her husband, who gave her a settlement of $775,000
Because of the Brad Pitt fantasy.
Right. She divorced him because of the Brad Pitt fantasy.
Well, that's a long con, as they say.
Imagine being the husband of Anne. Are you just sitting back laughing right now, like, as you have two knuckles buried in the chili ring of some young lady? Anyway.
When I think about you, I touch myself.
The scams were elaborate, with requests for money to pay custom fees on fictional gifts of diamond rings.
Wow.
To treat kidney cancer. Even telling Anne that Pitt's assets were frozen due to his divorce from that wicked witch, Angelina Jolie. Anne transferred large sums of money, with one transaction being $60,000 into a Turkish bank account. Nothing weird here.
No. It's all, everything's checking out.
When she saw Brad Pitt's stories with his girlfriend, she suspected the whole thing was off. Now, faced with the truth, she reported the scam to the police and launched an investigation. Yeah, Brad Pitt is not going to be slumming it dating one of us peasants, okay? All of this greatly affected her mental health, you think? She's been hospitalized for severe depression and attempting suicide multiple times. Yeah, you left your effing husband for a fake Brad Pitt. It also illustrates how online romance scams are getting increasingly sophisticated, with fraudsters now using advanced technologies like AI to dupe victims. An estimated 12,000 people in France alone lost money last year to this kind of scam, highlighting the growing need for increased awareness and vigilance with online interactions. Well, and I think it's highlighting how lonely people are.
You know, I think a lot of women might even settle for a fake Brad Pitt. You could just, if you're talking to some lady on the phone, go, look, I'm not Brad Pitt, but if the light's right, I kind of resemble him from like an angle. I mean, is that good enough? You'd be like, yeah, I'll take fake Brad Pitt any day. Yeah, a lot of women would probably settle for a fake Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
I have his nose. Cool. I'll meet you at 7:00.
Yeah.
You know, just say I have the ears of Brad Pitt. Cool. Let's get married.
Yeah, I don't know. She should have probably just stayed with her husband and blocked the guy on Instagram.
Well, it sounds like one of those people would have lost her fortune no matter what. It was a matter of time. On somebody would have scammed her.
Nigerian prince.
Yeah, somebody would have scammed her on it. So much money. Damn it. Wow.
I wish I didn't have a moral compass. Because, man, I sure would be able to make a lot of money off of
There's some
idiots.
lonely people out there.
Yeah. Just, man. Okay. You're really going to believe that Brad Pitt is just hopping into your DMs?
I mean, I might. Trying to think how far down the rabbit hole I go. Somebody sent me a random picture and said they were famous. How far down the rabbit hole I would investigate. Like if Scarlett Johansson, I got a text.
Oh, my God.
Scarlett saying, John, I was going to come and see you, but my jet broke down and LA's on fire. I can't get out. Would you send me $4,000 for a bus ticket and I'll come to Madison? I mean, like, yes. Is this really Scarlett? Yes. When are you going to be here? Thursday? Yes.
I don't think I would believe a second of it.
And she goes, if you send me $10,000, I'll bring my hot friend Margot Robbie. She was in the Barbie movie. I'd be like, yes.
I'll meet you.
I'm like,
no, I need $1,000 in Apple gift cards.
Where do I pick you up? There's a park and ride at the Arby's off the Beltline. Yes.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, that's a Hardee's. No, wait, is it Arby's or a Hardee's?
It's Arby's.
Oh, I love Arby's. Yes. Hi, how's it going?
Hey, Johnny, this is Angus Young. If you give me $1,000, I'll get you backstage passes.
Done. Hang on the line. I'll write a check right now.
Man, he knew right where to go.
Does he know how much I love AC/DC?
Yeah.
The JJO Morning Show podcast with Johnny and D. Listen, rate, subscribe. Catch a new show every Monday through Friday, 6 till 10 a.m. on 94.1 JJO or streaming anywhere in the JJO app. Johnny and D. Nowhere but JJO.